I'm Eytan Shander with Awesemo. We have 3 picks for this Saturday slate on PrizePicks.com for you, the king of over-unders. Make sure you use our promo code Awesemo, AWESEMO, and we're going to match your first deposit up to $100. Our first play on Saturday is Seth Curry. We're going to go over the projected points. It's a low number at 16.5. This team has been decimated with injury, with COVID, without Ben Simmons, and the one bright spot from an offensive standpoint, especially from behind the arc, has been Seth Curry. He's shooting the ball lights out. A little inconsistency issues early on, but when he's on, he is one, especially if Embiid is out, of the leading scorers on the team without a doubt. So 16.5 is actually an easy number to get to. Expect against the Bulls somewhere in the low 20s. PrizePicks has him at 16.5, and looking again, A, at the matchup, and B, at the opportunity of volume, especially because this team has been so volatile with who's playing with so many different reasons. Seth Curry, consistent enough to go over that 16.5. Expect the low 20s, and that's our first play on Saturday's PrizePicks.com slate. Next, speaking of the matchup, we're going to take advantage of a little less pressure on Nikola Jokic Saturday night. They'll take on the Houston Rockets, and look, the projected assists for Jokic is 6.5, which I still think is a little low. Granted that he's going to be out and doing a lot of damage, we know, from a scoring standpoint, but the expectation is that they should be up on Houston, pulling away a little bit from Houston. Less pressure for Jokic to be scoring down the stretch, and that usually transfers over, especially to a guy who can score and facilitate at the same time, usually transfers over to a higher number of assists. So I really like the idea that Jokic can take advantage of being a facilitator, not have as much stress on him to lead this team or even lead the game in scoring. 6.5 projected assists, a lower number, not necessarily super low, but a lower number on PrizePicks, and that's what we're going to take advantage of, going over 6.5 assists for Jokic as our second play on Saturday's PrizePicks.com slate. All right, third play, Lonzo Ball. Always love to dabble into the projected three-pointers made. And we're going to stay with the over theme and counter what I said about what opens everything up for Seth Curry from an offensive standpoint. Defensively, there's a little lag on the perimeter, and especially when you look at the Sixers' inability to guard the three like they could with Ben Simmons. Matisse Thybulle is not going to be out there for 40 minutes stuck on Lonzo Ball. There's going to be an opportunity, or 5, if you will, depending on how many he wants to take, to launch a couple of threes for Lonzo. It's a sneaky little play because there isn't a hook, but I am confident that he's going to get the looks at the very least. The hook is always something you pay attention to on PrizePicks.com, especially because they have a lot of straight numbers without that extra half point or half assist, in this case, a half a three. But I really like Lonzo getting the 3, possibly even 4 threes, especially against the Sixers' perimeter defense that has been weakened without Ben Simmons. So over that number at 2.5 for Lonzo Ball. All right, let's recap the picks. We're going over projected points for Seth Curry. We're going over the projected assists, 6.5 for Nikola Jokic. And finally, the three-pointers made, 2.5, the projection on PrizePicks for Lonzo Ball. And we're going over that. Put them all in a flex play. Hit 2 out of 3, and you're going to win 1.25 back what you put in. Hit all 3 correctly in the flex play, and you'll win 2.25 back what you put in. Now, feeling lucky, really like, you want to tail all 3, bigger payout, we got you. Put them in the power play. You must hit 3 out of 3 in the entry, and that will correctly pay back 5 times your entry fee. Make sure you use our promo code Awesemo before anything, AWESEMO, and we're going to match your first deposit up to $100. I'm Eytan Shander. Have a great night.